Okay, now that we've placed some 3D objects on the landscape, let's explore the concept of terrain. Now, this is all flat. We're assuming a flat surface here, and in fact, the study area Globeville is quite flat. But as I mentioned in the instructions for this exercise, the printed instructions, that is, uh, you actually can see the terrain relief from Google Earth if you want. You simply click on this toggle terrain button here, and what you'll see is that, in fact, um, there is a slight amount of terrain relief here in this part of Globeville. You see there's like a little levee type thing. It's not a lot, but it's something. But as I mentioned in those instructions, it messes things up. It makes it really hard to drape these kinds of surfaces. You can do it. It just takes many more steps, and I don't think it's worth it for this given how flat this area is. Nonetheless, I think it's worthwhile to learn how to do a little manual terrain adjustments if you want to create your own little terrain features, which can be valuable for these kinds of landscape design exercises. So the way we do this is by using the sandbox toolbar. In the sandbox toolbar, we get the standard way by going to toolbars. We go down to sandbox, we click OK, and then it shows this here. And we're going to create a new terrain from scratch. We click on this guy, and we're going to want to anchor this terrain to something straight like this. And we'll move it out across here. And we'll click there. And so we got this grid now where we can have terrain undulations. So what we have to do, the first thing we have to do is select the whole thing, and we have to explode it. So we go right-click, explode. Then we click to the side, we deselect it. Now I'm going to select something in the middle. And I'm going to do what's called smoothing. I click on the smooth button, and now I can do something like create a nice little hill. Okay, not too big. I could do the same thing to create a depression too. So I could do, let's say if I wanted a little stormwater detention thing or something like that. Maybe we'll do that right over here, just a real small one. And maybe I'll go down a little bit. Although that could mess things up. So let's maybe just not do that for now. But you get the idea. So we have this nice little terrain feature here. And I'm going to back up one step in terms of what I just did. And one thing you'll notice is now I've kind of messed up the view a little bit here. What I'm going to go, I can go ahead and use the paint bucket and sort of manually put things in here. Maybe there's a different type of vegetation here. Maybe it's ivy or something like that. But we can go in and start filling this in. And you know, this is something we can do later. But for now, you get the basic idea. All right, so that is a basic lesson on manual terrain. It's really not that hard. You can also bring in real terrain. You can load in contour lines, and then from contour lines, you can actually create your own, what's called your own terrain sandbox. But for now, we're just going to do this simple kind of a thing.